Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So I hope everybody is starting out their morning really good. All right. If you guys can hear me and my sound is straight, give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. I'm going to run through real quick and give some quick acknowledgments. We got Carla Lockhart in the building. Shout out to my man Michael Brown for joining the membership. Just so everybody knows, we got 40 members now on the road to 50. That'd be dope if we could get 50 by the end of this stream. But if we don't, we still pushing forward and moving there. We got 40 members on the channel. So we getting deep. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the channel members. We got Janesta Coleman in the building. We got Carlton Way in the building. We got Lemon Lucas. Shout out to my man Lemon Lucas. We got Alonzo Griffin in the building. What up with it, Alonzo? We got James Hudson in the house. B1. My man Mike Mellis John is in here. Shout out to Cameron Jones. Let me see who else we got. Let me see. Val Williams is in the house. Wave Air is up in here. We got my man Torian Rain in the building. Shout out to my man Torian Rain. We got Goat Juan Productions. What's good with the Goat Juan? My man DJ Elmo is in the house. Tone is up in here. Mimi is in here. DeAndre is in the building. Q Hefner is in the house. And Reverend Percy Miracles is in the house. And Robin Ann Battle. Wave Capel. What up with it? What's good with y'all? What's good with everybody, man? I hope y'all doing straight. All right. Shout out to y'all for being up in here on Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? So what we're going to talk about today, as usual, in the recent times, since this is content that's interesting and popping, is some more quote-unquote Just Pearly thing stuff. Now, if you guys haven't seen the video, the live stream that I did last night, make sure you guys check that live stream out. Watch that live stream all the way through to the end. The reason being is because that live stream gives a little bit of insight as to what's going on. It also gives a little bit of insight as to how people, quote unquote, behave. It gives insight as to how, quote unquote, people behave. The reason why I say that is because as of right now in this saga, we all know that there's a guy named Sarah Garvey. All right. Now, that individual whose name is Sarah Garvey, he looks like he might be getting his channel deleted. And he might be getting his channel deleted because it looks like Just Pearly things struck his channel. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I heard through the grapevine that there's somebody named Messy Michonne. How many people have ever heard of Messy Michonne? Yeah, and everybody drop some radiation emoji in the chat for Torian for reaching 60K subs. Shout out to Torian for that. You know what I'm saying? That's hard work to do. So make sure y'all show some love. You know what I'm saying? We got to help push him to 100. You know what I'm saying? She also struck somebody named Messy Michonne's channel. All right. I'm not too familiar with Messy Michonne, but according to somebody's comment section, she struck somebody named Messy Michonne. All right. So I want to just go through this real quick. Let me see. I want to show you guys something. And shout out to Kid Gravity for coming on last night because he's the one that put me on to this. Hold on real quick. Let me see. Okay. I want you guys to listen to this. This is Sarah Garvey, all right? Before we get into the black conservative perspective, I feel like I'm swagger jacking Kid Gravity because I got because I got Twitter up. I need that little bird sound effect that Kid Gravity be having. Shout out to my man Jared. What's good with it, bro? All right, so check this out. Nah, I don't think Pearly will go after Jason Black. I don't think she will. Honestly, I don't think she has a reason to go after any of these people. But out of everybody, she got the least reason to go after Jason Black. Even though Jason Black's video probably was the most effective one against her, Jason Black offered her multiple opportunities to call in. He used very small portions of her content, so she can't use the copyright strike technique. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But remember, see, this is how sensitive she is. You're getting critiqued, and your go-to is to try to cancel somebody. Carlton Way says, I've seen that Sarah Garvey video. He appears to have a level head. Listen. Did you hear this Sarah Garvey video though? Did you hear this one? I'm gonna play this for you guys, and I want you guys to let me know what y'all think about this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Kid Gravity said that Sarah Garvey reached out to Philip Scott to try to help him with his copyright issues because she struck his channel like 4 times. His channel's supposed to be getting deleted on April 7th if they don't resolve the copyright issue. All right. Shout out to Jermaine Smith.
Every culture on this planet has an underworld. Every culture. Chinese, Japanese, European, African, name it. Everyone's got an underworld.
AJ, what up,
black
bro?
People's problem is
listen.
Has become the norm.
How many are you all tired of hearing this nonsense where everybody is talking about, well, see what black people's problem are, what black people's problem is, like we're some kind of pathology that needs to be cured. I'm tired of that crap, man. Now, I was telling Kid Gravity yesterday on the stream, I was listening to who he was saying he had done interviews and content with, and this dude has done interviews and content with a bunch of white supremacists. He's cool with this dude named Zuby. Do you guys remember when Tyree Nichols got killed? And there was a interview with Pierce Morgan, and there was a guy on there, the black guy that Pierce Morgan kept referring to. Shout out to Eddie Long. That was Zuby. So he's in that little circle, right? He's in that little circle. Okay. So Just Pearly Things, according to him, has the same manager as Candace Owens, which means that it's somebody from the Daily Wire, somebody from PragerU, possibly. Whatever it is, the person that's managing her content has connections to a white supremacist think tank, right? Just Pearly Things wanted Sarah Garvey to host a news show. Now, I'm glad you liked that stream last night, Eddie. So she was planning on pivoting into politics. Now, with the views that she has on Black history, what do you think her political show is going to sound like? It's probably going to sound like Pearl and Friends competing with Fox and Friends. You know what I'm saying? An hour-long bitch session where black people are the butt of every joke. But now, what I don't understand is, it seems to me that Sarah Garvey kind of feels similar to Pearl about black people. I want you guys to listen to this, and then we're going to look at some of the comments below.
Every culture on this planet has an underworld. Every culture. Chinese, Japanese, European, African, name it. Everyone's got an underworld. Do you know what black people's problem is? Our underworld has become the norm. Our underworld has become the standard of who we are. So all the fucking...
If you ask me, bro, shout out to my man Cameron. If you ask me, this whole little rant where he's quote unquote dog whistling about the underworld, he's talking about FBA. He's talking about FBA in a derogatory way. Take a listen to this.
Idiots. All the dirty, nasty, sensationalist underbelly of who people are has risen to the surface when it comes to black people, and we now see that as a norm. So of course, go and show your fucking pussy, yeah, on the internet. Go on, show your ass on the internet. Yeah, talk about how good you are of a drug dealer you are. Go on. Just sensationalize drug dealing and do all of that shit. And
shout out to Kid Gravity Beyond. Like I said, got to give props. Kid Gravity Beyond is the one that put me onto this. Now let me ask you guys a question. Where is a majority of people doing all of the things that he said? Who's doing that? Who's doing all of this stuff?
every culture on this planet has an underworld. Every culture. Chinese, Japanese, European, African, name it. Everyone's got an underworld. Do you know what black people's problem is? Our underworld has become the norm. Our underworld has become the standard of who we are. So all the fucking idiots, all the dirty, nasty, sensationalist underbelly of who people are has risen to the surface when it comes to black people, and we now see that as a norm.
Shout out to OG Patrice.
Go and show your fucking pussy, yeah, on the internet. Go on, show your ass on the internet. Yeah, talk about how good you are of a drug dealer you are. Go on. Just sensationalize drug dealing and do all of that shit and be like, oh yeah, that's how we are. That's not who we are. That is not who we are. I'm getting very fucking tired of black people acting like dickheads. Acting as if the norm of us, as if the underbelly, as if the underworld of who we are is the upper echelon of who we are. Do you know how much we got to fight?
Yeah, he's dog whistling to other people in the diaspora, complaining about the influence of FBA culture and how influential it is. Now, here's the thing, right? FBA culture isn't doing all of the debauchery and degeneracy that he's talking about, but that's what it is. He's upset. Now, Phil Scott reached out to him to try to help him with his copyright issues. And what's sad about this is, I mean, this dude is basically on a rant disparaging people like Phil Scott and us, because we all know that these people from the diaspora think that we're the lowest on the totem pole. We all know that. They've said it. They've made it clear. I mean, that's what a kata means. A lost feral cat. We're lost feral cats that don't know anything. What's the main thing that we talk about? We don't know our culture, which is why they claim that this culture is degenerate. However, this isn't our culture. It's a propaganda technique when people like him take a small segment of people, right, and try to put those on the forefront as if that small segment of people represents the entire group. What if I talked about Asian people and said, we have to stop our culture of brothels, prostitution, and human sex trafficking? We have to stop that. It's sad that that's become the face of our culture. Everybody would look at me like I was crazy because a small percentage of Asian people are involved in that kind of criminality, not the majority. So it makes sense, right? I want to ask you guys a question. Does it make sense that this guy was working with Pearl? They share the same sentiments, especially about Black Americans, because we see the sentiment that, shout out to my man Hoop Jargon. What's good with it, bro? If y'all not subscribed to my man Hoop Jargon, go make sure y'all go check his page out, man. He doing good work with the sports media. You know what I'm saying? So now it makes sense that he would say this kind of stuff because he's working with Pearl, right? You know I got you, bro. It makes sense that he would say this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why Pearl chose him and wanted him to do that news program, which he talked about in his 20-minute video that he dropped.
Right. Just to get seen as normal. And for other people to not think of us as drug dealers or as trappers or as people who know how to twerk and all this kind of shit. All we do, when I scroll through all the socials, the things that are getting the most hits, the things that are getting the most likes, the things that are getting the most views, is sensationalist bullshit. It's the underbelly of
the things that are getting the most hits, the things that are getting the most likes, the things that are getting the most views. So now it's gone from showing your P word and drug dealing to the most popular social media posts. The most popular social media posts are usually things that we come up with that go viral, or dances that we come up with, or music or songs that we come up with. So like I said, this dude is dog whistling, and he's trying to get at FBA. I mean, I hate to say it, Karma plays a strange song when you're trying to get at FBA, but an Adoso is trying to get at your channel. And now the only people that's reaching out to save you, or really the only people that got any kind of voice to try to combat this individual that's attacking you, are the very people that you're attacking here. When will these people learn, man? When will these people learn?
Society being shown as the upper echelon of who we are. We're better than this, man. We are so much better than this. And it is pissing me off watching black people become the most dumbass nation, the most dumbass people on this planet. And people just expect that as the norm.
Shout out to DSA. What's good, bro?
I'm a student of history. And we come from civilizations that mapped out star systems. We come from civilizations that built pyramids. We come from civilizations that had mathematics and had all of these.
Yeah, we come from a civilization that built America.
All of these things. And now all of a sudden, we reduced ourselves.
Yeah, we reduced ourselves to what? Now, check this out, right? Under this, let me see. I think, let me see, show thread. I'm going to click on this. Yeah, okay. All right. So under this, there goes your boy Zuby. Now, remember, that's the guy who was on there with Pierce Morgan, right? He was on there with Pierce Morgan talking about how it wasn't any elements of racism involved in the Tyree Nichols killing. He was on there with Pierce Morgan. He was the Pierce Morgan defense team. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is some real talk, man. This is some real talk. Now, mind you, this is a dude, I believe he's Nigerian. He lives in the UK, and he's a rapper. So while you're sitting up there trashing black people, you know what I'm saying? Trashing FBA, you trying to be like us. This person here, Dominique Samuels, she says facts. Shout out to this person, Fortune. We're sick of you too, fella. I don't know what black community you're referring to, but it's not the one that I and many belong to. I think you may be confused between Hollywood movies and reality. Respectfully. Facts. Super facts. So, as you can see, there's some pushback against that. But what's up with that, man? Why do people just get on social media and have these coon rants? You feel the need to record this shit. I got to talk about black people. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Shout out to Corey Green. What's good with it, bro? So now just remember, this is the guy right now that's going through it. And this is one of the people that Pearly Quinn is attacking his channel with copyright strikes. He's gotten enough copyright strikes to where YouTube could zap his channel by April 7th. You know what I'm saying? So this is Black conservative perspective. And what I want you guys to pay very close attention to is the things that Black conservative perspective says about the Black manosphere and the things that he says specifically about O'Shea Duke Jackson. This guy right here, and I'm not the person to cape for the manosphere, and I'm not the person to cape for O'Shea Duke Jackson. But this guy right here is a clown, and he's lying on the manosphere, and he's lying on O'Shea Duke Jackson. And what's interesting is that he's using this to feed his audience lies about the manosphere and lies about O'Shea Duke Jackson. Like it's a lot of dudes in the manosphere that politically have the same kind of beliefs that he has. But now he's sitting up here lying on the manosphere though to his audience. Like this dude is a whole clown. Talk about the Pearl situation and talk about how you feel about it and call it a day. Why are you sitting up here lying on people? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this video came out before O'Shea Duke Jackson made that one video, but this dude has made other corny clown ass videos where he's lying about people. And I think that might be why O'Shea called him an idiot, probably because he is. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, I'm not the dude to cape for O'Shea, but at the same time, no, this cat is a pathological liar. And whether somebody's lying on O'Shea or whether somebody's lying on the manosphere or whether somebody's lying on us, the fact of the matter is that all these people are liars. And how many people have died behind some liar lying to the police? And this is a Black dude here that is on that side of the aisle. So as far as I'm concerned, when you start moving like this, you're a threat to people's lives, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're a threat to people's lives. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, make sure you guys hit the bell twice. If you guys want to unsubscribe, you can hit it 3 times. And share the video to your social media. Let's get it.
Why do you think Black people sold Black people into the slave trade? They weren't thinking, oh, they're Black, I shouldn't. They're thinking, let me get this bag.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know, probably the same reason why during every war or during any kind of period of conflict, there's people from the side being attacked or harmed on the side of the people that are doing the attacking or harming. Probably like a particular family sold a particular dictator weapons during World War II. Probably that. Probably a reason similar to that. Probably a reason similar to why during what was called white slavery that Matt Walsh was so outraged about. It was whites selling other whites into slavery. Probably that. Probably the same reason. I don't know. This is just me throwing out a couple possibilities. You know what I'm saying?
sorry. Don't clip me. Don't clip me.
Yeah, it's when oh God,
Because they had
And she knew, even with her token Black puppet friend up there, that she was.
Shout out to Mr. Real Estate. Now, this is a different video than the one that I used to make my commentary on. Now, here's my question. Where's this girl right here? Her friend that was with her back in the day. Where's she at? What happened to her? Notice how she's not around anymore.
Still talking some BS because, oh, don't clip me, guys. Don't clip me. Too late, honey boo boo child. You done got clipped up.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about a little drama here this morning. As just a few days ago, I made a video about the Just Pearly thing situation with her interviewing Nick Fuentes. And then you have a bunch of people, particularly people in the so-called Black manosphere, getting upset and mad because she interviewed Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes said things that made them uncomfortable that they don't.
Now, check this out, right? I wonder, is he going to make a video about her canceling, right? Because it's woke to cancel, right? It's woke to cancel and to be a part of cancel culture, right? Let's just get that out the way. Let me know in the comment section if it's woke to cancel. Being a part of cancel culture is quote unquote woke, which means that now that Just Pearly things is doing business and conducting herself like a liberal, which we all know that she's a white feminist because she did some Gloria Steinem type shit. Well, what that means is that she's moving like a feminist. She's moving like a liberal. So that means that based on Greg Foreman's political ideology, then he should make a video talking about how Just Pearly Things is really going around being woke, how she's canceling former employees, right? That would make sense, right? I guarantee you will see that, like how we see videos about corrupt cops on Officer Tatum's page. Now, I want you guys to listen to this dude, man, because this dude is just broken and battered. Like, man, his life has really been horrible to him. You know what I'm saying? Really been horrible to him. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't such a treasonous buffoon, I would really feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Because when your life has dragged you through the mud like this and got you downtrodden and beat up, I get it. But we're gonna get into this. All right. So smash that like button if you guys haven't. Check out the backup channels. Hit that bell icon twice to subscribe. If you're big mad, hit it 3 times to unsubscribe and thumbs down the video. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't feel like she pushed back hard enough against him, that she didn't defend black people enough.
Now, let me ask you this before we get started with this. How many people have, quote unquote, called for her to be canceled? How many people have done it? Nobody's called for her to be canceled, right? But the only thing that's going on is that people have critiqued things that she said and come with their own interpretation of her content, right? That's it. Nobody said cancel her. Nobody said remove her. That's up to people to make their own decision about. Literally, no one is calling for her to be canceled. You know what I'm saying? No one. But this is what he tells his audience. And his audience is like that, is like that troll that Corey wants up out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of them. So why he's over here with the very people that people like him claim to want separation from is beyond me. But you'll always find that, because look at Just Pearly Things and how racist she is, yet she's surrounded by a gang of black people. Pay attention to that, to those movements, how that works.
And they're mad at her because she surrounds herself with black people. She employs black people. She has a black boyfriend. She's making money off of black people, and they don't like it. Okay. Now, in my opinion, a lot of it is really just jealousy.
Nobody cares about any of that. Nobody cares about that. Literally, nobody cares that she surrounds herself with black people. Nobody cares that she has a black boyfriend. Nobody cares that she's making money off of black people. What people care about is the fact that she's potentially harmful, the fact that she's manipulative, and the fact that she has anti-black sentiments. Those are the major points of contention. Then what people are doing is not questioning her, but questioning the people that are working around her, asking, well, if you know this about this individual, why are you cooperating with them? Shout out to my man, Black Bitcoin Key. Yeah, she's a Trojan horse. She's an op. She's a whole op. You know what I'm saying? I think the plan was always to gain 1 million subscribers in whatever way it was easiest for her to get it, and then flip her channel and then really get a high-paying contract with somebody like Steven Crowder, Daily Wire, PragerU, Turning Point USA, or, some white supremacist think tank like that. The Manhattan Institute, who knows? You know what I'm saying? John Birch Society, who knows?
Because she works really hard, okay, and she's successfully built the platform in which she does elevate black voices, which, hey, this is what people say they want from whites, right? But when you do it, you got to make sure that, hey, you don't hurt some people's feelings. Or put it this way, you don't interview the wrong person, okay? Because if you interview the wrong person, Lord forbid, okay, you listen to opinions that other people disagree with, right? You try to expand your perspective and learn something new. That's a crime, right? So apparently I'm being called out, I guess.
What is it that we're supposed to be learning? And doesn't the same apply for her? She's the one that's quoting only one source as her knowledge base. So, I mean, I don't understand why we're being talked at like this. Do you guys? Shout out to my man, Edward Berry. If you guys understand why we're being talked at like this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. Now, YouTube really likes people like this. YouTube pays them well. They pay him well. This guy's got a lot of subscribers. If I'm not mistaken, he's got about 600,000 subscribers. So shout out to him for his hard work of keeping up the camouflage. Because there's no way that I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody answering the Nightbot. Jarrett, Carla, anybody else that I may have missed. Appreciate it.
If this is what you can call it, by some people in the black manosphere for defending Just Pearly things. In fact, there's this guy who I like a lot. Okay, I actually watch quite a bit of his content, Mr. O'Shea Duke Jackson, who did a video where he spoke about me. Okay, and I want to go ahead and play a clip of what he had.
He called him an idiot, which I don't think many people would disagree with.
Had to say about me, and then go from there. Take a look.
People even tell her not to apologize, which I'll get to in a minute. But now here's the situation. I don't want to talk to black men about this. You see, again, you brothers out there believe because this is the black man. A lot of black men who like white women. She's willing to accept a black penis. So because she accepts a black penis, she's not racist. She's doing things with black people. She's not racist. But you never see Just Pearly things reviewing clips of those people who've also had a history of, let's say, something similar to slavery. Let's say like what we call the untouchable community. She never talks about that, does she? She won't pull up a clip talking.
Yeah, them folks. Now, when it comes to them folks, when they were talking about them folks, it was Just Pearly things on her own that pivoted the conversation to black people. Yeah, I know, right? I was looking at that, Torian. Look at his shirt. He came dressed for the occasion. Big facts. And now, Sarah Garvey also calls things woke. So that's a red flag. Like, man, pay attention to that. It's sus. You know what I'm saying? A little bit suspect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about that, or let's say the Muslim community with the 9/11 thing, or LGBTQ. She never says something about Sabia's LGBTQ community. This don't clip me. Oh no, but see, here's something that she knows. You see, the black community will let her clip her, or some brothers outside of the black community. Like you have this one guy called the Black Conservative, which I'll deal with him a little bit later. But then don't apologize to woke liberals. I mean, it's just it's crazy. This is not being a woke liberal. This is you have this.
Yeah, I agree. It's not being a woke liberal. If you guys agree this isn't being a woke liberal, give me a thumbs up. If it is, give me a thumbs down.
Individual who's talking, who has this is a habit. This is not like, oh, she said something one time and something very bad happened. No. This is constitutive with her. If she's not.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys show some love to Jermaine Smith, who just shared the video on Facebook. Appreciate it, bro. Drop some radiation emojis. Show him some love. We all know that sharing helps. We got that goal, trying to get to that 10K by the end of the year.
Saying something offensive or passive aggressive, she just lets black people come on there and she does it for them. See, we need to just agree that she doesn't respect black people. And it's okay. One question that I have for you is, what do you get out of this? What do you get in return? Like something, and I can see why somebody like this Black Conservative guy, because he's, the Black Conservative Perspective channel, I can see why maybe he'll do this. It makes sense because he gets a ton of views, a ton of money, which I still can't explain why he does that.
No, it's facts, Corey, but advocating for your race only makes you a woke liberal when you're black. When you're white, it makes you a patriot. When you're Asian, it makes you proud of your culture. When you're Arabic, it makes you cultured. It's only black people and it's only FBA. It's only black Americans, foundational black Americans. You know what I'm saying? Freeman, ADOS. It's only us. Literally everybody else is allowed to have cultural pride, man. It's just so cool when Latinos have brown pride, man. It's just so cool. Kid Gravity said, check the links that I sent you. I can't even get to them right now, bro. I got like 1 million tabs open on my desktop. And if I open up one more, it's going to get to that thing where the plus button disappears. And I'm going to be stuck like Chuck.
That doesn't make, but it makes a little bit more sense because he's making a lot more money than the guys who are doing it in the comments. So at least he has a financial payoff to like have his opinion, which I don't agree with, and it's never really worked it. But he has the
B1 Afro Elite, and congratulations on hitting that. Well, actually being over 5K now. Drop your link in the chat so people can go check your channel out. Make sure y'all go check out Afro Elite and show him some love.
more of a reason. But you guys in the comments who you get nothing out of protecting this behavior, what do you get out of it is the question. Want to know what you get out of it? Nothing. You get nothing from it. Your situation never changes.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you, some of these characters on the internet, man, they're hilarious. Now, first and foremost, before I get into this, I just want to say I have no problems with O'Shea Duke Jackson. Unlike him, I actually can respect people having a difference of opinion, okay, and not get butthurt about it. I understand where he's coming.
So if you respect people having a difference of opinion and you're not butthurt about it, then what's wrong with you having an issue? What's wrong with you with people having an issue about Just Pearly things basing the entire black experience on Thomas Sowell in the movie Roots? How can anybody in their right mind not see how that's problematic? I mean, doesn't a person with common sense feel that that's problematic? Everybody seems like if they have a level of common sense, it would make sense as to how downplaying somebody's history is problematic, right? Because we wouldn't downplay anybody else's history. We wouldn't even question certain people's history. If you question certain people's history, like the Sombreritos, you find yourself without no social media account, possibly without any business contracts, possibly without a bank account. So pay very close attention how when we stand up for ourselves, we get dogpiled on, which is why it's most important for us to become the biggest, most vicious dog in the room. Y'all want to dogpile us? Okay, bet. Time for us to become a pit bull then. And I'm talking about one of the mean pit bulls that don't have a home, that's been walking around outside, that's just drooling because it had rabies for so long that the natural immunity healed it up. That's the kind of pit bulls that we need to be. Since everybody wants to dogpile on a dog that's going to hurt you.
Coming from. He's perpetuating this stereotype. As a black person, I must have the same opinions as the broader black community because apparently I'm not a part of the black community, right?
What's interesting about that is that O'Shea Duke Jackson didn't say that about him in that video. So again, this is one of the things that people like this do. A lot of these black conservatives, they'll just babble and insert talking points that they have into context that's taken into content that's taken out of context just to entertain their anti-black audiences. Like this is hilarious to watch.
That's what he said. I'm outside of the community, even though I've been black all my life. Okay. But apparently I'm outside of the community because my opinions aren't the right opinions. Right. And also apparently I'm just saying things that you guys want me to say, even though I feel like I've come on my channel and had a lot of opinions that you guys disagree with. I just say the things that I feel personally, right? These are my opinions. And I'm actually, instead of trying to go back and forth with him, because I really don't want to, I respect him. Okay. I respect his content that he puts out. I disagree with his opinion. I'm actually going to respond to some of the more controversial things about the Just Pearly things in Nick Fuentes interview that some of these guys are so mad about. And I was going to respond to it yesterday. I just didn't have time to get to it because I responded.
Literally nobody's mad. People just have an opinion. So when white people have an opinion, it's their well thought out and they have a justifiable grievance. But when we have an opinion, we're mad. And all that is again, him pandering to his audience to appeal to the quote unquote emotional trope that people like him and his audience continue to perpetuate about us. Shout out to my man, Deformed Pretty Boy. What's good with it, bro?
To some of the more tame things that people were upset about in that interview. And I was gonna make a follow-up video addressing some of the more controversial comments and to get more in depth into why I feel like Just Pearly Things doesn't really owe anybody an apology for interviewing Nick Fuentes or not pushing back enough. So I guess this gives me a good opportunity to do it. We're going to go ahead and get into this first clip here that people are upset about. Is Nick Fuentes basically expressing how he doesn't like interracial dating. Take a look.
I always look to racist.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit
Yeah,
racist. But listen, but it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just race is real. Race is real. Race is a part of us. So Hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Now, what Nick Fuentes said is exactly how Italians are. That's literally exactly how Italians are. He told the truth right there. So what I want you guys to do is pay very close attention to what Black conservative perspective does. Now, here's the thing, right? Everybody knows that Italians are racist as hell. They've permanently smeared their image to that, to where literally anybody that deals with an Italian knows that 9 times out of 10 they're bigoted because it's a part of their culture. So nobody cares. We've all seen The Godfather. We've all seen Goodfella. We've all seen Joe Pesci in every movie that he's been in. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. Right? So we all know that in this situation, Nick Fuentes is probably telling the truth. Nobody cares. Torian Rain said she looked defeated when he said that. And the reason why she looked defeated when he said that is because she knows that he's right. It probably hurt. It probably hurt her feelings a little bit. I'm not going to front. You know what I'm saying? She's probably upset because she knows it's true. She knows her culture is like that. She knows her grandparents can't stand her boyfriend. She knows her parents probably can't either. You know what I'm saying? They call us all kind of stuff. Jigs. Right? So we all know that Italians are racist. That's not anything that anybody's surprised about. Nobody said anything about that.
Oh, no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah.
Italians,
Tell an
we're
Italian
big-
guy
we're
about
big
your affinity
lovers.
for black guys. That'll go over real well.
And again, Nick Fuentes is right. You know what I'm saying? And now on top of it, I think not only do she look defeated, she looks defeated because she knows that Nick Fuentes is telling the truth, but now he's sitting up there toying with her. He's telling the truth about her culture because remember, Nick Fuentes is Italian too, and her boyfriend is making her look bad because her boyfriend ain't really saying nothing or doing nothing because her boyfriend sold his soul to the devil, and he can't really say anything about the podcast because he's getting a paycheck from there. Shout out to Mr. Knock. What's good with it, bro? Know what I mean?
Good one, Nick.
Maybe some brajol. There's some Italian.
No, but
for you.
I will make my black boyfriend some of that.
Ugh, wow.
Before the video was filmed, Nick and I were talking about how we're both Italian. Nick is Italian and Mexican. For the
So now what I want you guys to pay very close attention to is that the audience of Greg Foreman, they really appreciated this part of the video a lot. Honestly, there's a lot of comments in his comment section that he put a heart on that actually agree with Nick Fuentes. So, I mean, just so you know, that's what he's dealing with over there as his subscriber base. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please make sure that you guys hit the bell. And also, please take a moment, share the video to your social media. And yeah, I got to agree with Deformed Pretty Boy. He's also Mexican. Pay attention. La Raza ideology was built off the backs of a pro-white, pro-H guy supporter. Yeah, and I know, absolutely. That's one of the reasons why the first thing that they do is link up with white nationalists when they get in prison. And a bunch of silly people are out here thinking that those are your friends. You know what I'm saying?
record, okay, which is interesting because he has such an issue with people race mixing, but he himself is ethnically mixed. So the day before, Nick was on my boyfriend's channel. He let me know very bluntly that it's disgusting that I'm dating a black man, even though he was completely respectful to my boyfriend.
And I think she got it twisted because he wasn't respectful to her boyfriend, but whatever. But you hear how she said my boyfriend's channel? That goes into what we was talking about the other day.
But he himself is ethnically mixed. So the day before, Nick was on my boyfriend's channel. He let me know very bluntly that it's disgusting that I'm dating a black man, even though he was completely respectful to my boyfriend the day before. You want to know why? Because my boyfriend would have beat him up anyways. When I said we do not claim you, Italians do not claim you, I'm talking about like, I'm Italian.
I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't think he would have. I don't think King Richards would have lifted a finger to do anything to Nick Fuentes, honestly. I think he would have just laughed like how everybody else just laughed. The only one that wouldn't have been laughing would have been her. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you know what I mean?
And this is my culture. We don't claim you. We don't claim this hateful rhetoric. We don't claim this disgusting, hateful mess that you bring to the table.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. What people are upset about is the fact that Just Pearly Things sat there and did not, I guess, defend her employee, okay, as Nick Fuentes is expressing his negative opinion over the fact that this Italian woman, okay, the other girl on the podcast, dates black guys. The black guy happens to be Just Pearly Things employee. Now, why don't I think that Just Pearly Things owes an apology? Because I don't think she owes an apology, because I don't think she really needed to step in that moment, because clearly the conversation was between Nick Fuentes and that Italian woman. Now, whether you agree or disagree with Nick Fuentes' opinions, and I'm going to get more into his opinion here in a minute, that exchange was between Nick Fuentes and the Italian woman, okay? And I don't think that Just Pearly Things needed to necessarily get involved, as it seemed like the Italian woman was holding her own, right? She was the...
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys agree with him? So now the thing is that if you pay attention to Greg Foreman, it seems like he's got the same kind of sentiments as King Richie does. I'm going to just sit back and watch. That's interesting. But again, these are the dudes that preach masculinity. I don't know how masculine it is to let another man berate your woman. I don't know how masculine that is. But I guess in this day and age, people like this are those kind of people that say, if you care about your woman, or if you care about a woman, or if you do anything decent for females at all, you're a simp. These extreme incel types. You know what I'm saying? The Peyton Gendrons of the world.
Defending herself, and she was saying all the things that needed to be said. Sometimes you don't have to chime in and, you know, everybody needs to jump on one person because they have an opinion that you dislike. Sometimes, you know, when you're having a conversation.
Now that's interesting, right? Everybody doesn't need to chime in and jump on one person when there's an opinion that you don't like. Did you make a video and say that about the J community when they did that to Kyrie Irving and when they did that to Kanye West? No. As a matter of fact, all the videos that he made about Kyrie in particular, he was calling Kyrie and Israelites and all that woke. Martin Luther King is woke. Malcolm X is woke. If you got melanin, it's woke.
Conversation what Just Pearly Things was doing there. You know, if you're a third party or whatever, you're not necessarily.
But just remember, though, these guys are the dog whistlers. These guys are the inside men. This is the wiretap. Because if it wasn't for black conservatives, it might be a little bit more difficult for us to understand what white people are thinking. So again, shout out to the black conservatives for being not able to be trusted to the point to where we can get all the information that we need about the people that are trying to exterminate us from them. That's crazy when you don't have no integrity to the point where you're a two-way traitor. Like, that's insane. But that's what these people are.
Involved in it. Sometimes it's just better to sit back and listen, right? You're just listening, you're taking everything in, and that's it. That seemed to me to be what she was doing. What did she need to apologize for? The other woman was holding her own. She was defending her boyfriend, right? And at parts of, you know, this interview, Just Pearly Things was defending her employees, right? I mean, she talked about wanting open borders because of how hard her African employees work.
So that was so her wanting to have the good immigration policies so she could, quote unquote, bring her Africans to the United States. That was her protecting her employees. Yes, you guys heard that right. You guys heard that right. You guys heard that right. What do you guys think about that? Shout out to Cole. Cole says, am I wrong for not trusting black dudes who wear hats like he does? That style screams self to me. Yeah.
And that's it. That seemed to me to be what she was doing. What did she need to apologize for? The other woman was holding her own. She was defending her boyfriend, right? And at parts of, you know, this interview, Just Pearly Things was defending her employees, right? I mean, she talked about wanting open borders because of how hard her African employees work.
So, I mean, let's just talk about how woke Just Pearly Things is. She's out here canceling people. She wants open borders, and she uses Gloria Steinem feminism tactics to infiltrate communities. But notice how he hasn't made a video discussing any of that. That's interesting.
That was her defending her employees, right? Now, again, when it comes to the whole dating thing, again, Nick Fuentes' opinion is that he doesn't like interracial dating. I disagree with his opinion, but like I've said before in the past, I have no problems with any groups of people, whether black, white, Asian, Latino, whatever.
Now, notice how that's the only opinion of Nick Fuentes is that he disagrees with. I'm just saying. That's the out of everything that you've heard so far, that's the only thing that you disagree with. Just saying, like,
ever who believe that, hey, you know, it's better to date within your own race. Okay, now I disagree with that, but that opinion is not.
now that's the only thing that he's stood on the entire time. Like, and now the thing is that if you disagree with that, why don't you lay out why you disagree with that, and then elaborate on it? Because the thing is that if you lay out why you disagree with it, now you're going to end up sounding like how Nick Fuente or how King Rich's girlfriend sounds, and you didn't really say too much about that. You basically said that, you know, she should go ahead and be berated. Now, like I said, when it came to miscongeniation laws and stuff like that, when it comes to interracial dating, those people like Nick Fuentes and Italians look at interracial dating as bestiality. That's why it was illegal. So now I find it interesting that that's the only thing that you don't agree with. You don't agree with the thing that makes you less than human, but everything is okay that makes somebody else feel like they're less than human. So you're in disagreement with his stance on interracial dating, but you're not in disagreement with the lies being told about history. Exactly, Gwen. Nick said that blacks are intellectually inferior, but dating is only what he cares for. Now, and honestly, if you ask me, that's the biggest problem that people have with interracial dating, is because in many cases, like what Greg Foreman just revealed here, is that the priority of self-preservation and the priority of maintaining your ability to have equal rights becomes compromised, sadly. And I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but I'm saying that's what he's displaying right here. And that's a lot of the biggest problem that a lot of people have. Now, you know, there's people that are Israelites and, you know, they reference things about how they feel about it and stuff like that. But yeah, exactly, Afro. Exactly. Notice how he passed that disagreement a million miles an hour. Facts. Super facts. That tells you everything that you need to know about this clown. You know what I'm saying?
Uncommon among non-white people. In fact, let me tell you a story, because some people think I'm not black, right? They think I'm not black. I'm not in the community. I don't like black women, right? This is what they think. However, I had just a couple days ago went on a date with a black woman. Actually, she's half black and half Asian. She's Blasian, right? Went on a date with a Blasian girl. And you know what she told me during this date? She said, you come off as the type of person that likes white girls, right? That you only date white girls. And she also said that she believes that most of my friends are white, or that I only have white friends, right? So
first, I highly doubt that anybody said that, first and foremost. And second of all, I would go as far as to say I'm shocked that you got a date at all. I'm shocked that any woman would want to be around you or be seen with you or by you or even actually sit through a conversation with you. That's what I'm shocked about. So there's that. Corey Green said, ain't nobody mistaking this cat for a non-black. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is it that they would think that he was. What is it that he would think that it was? I mean, to me, oh boy, I mean, he looks like a black dude, right? Am I tripping? And again, this is him projecting. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody in his household told him any of this stuff. He was on the date with lead attorney. I heard lead attorney had I heard lead attorney had a Freudian slip. That's what I heard about the lead attorney. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little bit of truth in that, Jay.
So I had to pull out my phone and show her that, no, I do in fact have.
Yo, speaking of the lead attorney, man, that stream is 4 hours, man, that he did. That stream is 4 hours. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out what it is that I might stream about tonight. But if I do that, and y'all know, man, I don't never even be asking for donations, or I don't never ask for, you know what I'm saying, none of that. But if I do that 4 hour stream, if we react to that 4 hour stream, I'm gonna need paycheck level donations for that day. You know what I'm saying? Paycheck level donations. That's you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna need paycheck level donations for that day, because that's a lot. And sitting through him, and I don't know how well I'm be able to do that, because I don't know how well my breathing will be after about an hour of laughing at him with the video sped up to 1.5x. That could give me a migraine headache after like 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Black friends. This is us hanging out, right? And her response to that was that, well, they don't look like normal black dudes, right? They look like black dudes that act a certain way. They don't act like normal black guys act. And I'm like, okay, well, how's a normal?
What does normal black guys act like? Yeah. And now again, this is a made up story. There's nothing validating this. He's not showing any pictures of him and this individual. I don't believe this, because the things that he's saying, these are conservative white supremacist dog whistles. A normal black guy. These kind of people and people like Greg, they equate normal black people to criminals. You know what I'm saying? So what does he mean by that? Like, literally nobody said any of this stuff. This is a fabricated conversation. If you asked him what the names of the people involved with were in this conversation, he wouldn't be able to tell you. And if you asked him to show you a picture of him and the people that were in this conversation together, he can't, because they don't exist. Just like how this conversation doesn't exist. Yeah, exactly. What's a normal black guy? Even he don't know what according to him, he don't know what a normal black guy is.
Black guy's supposed to act. Okay, I'm missing something here. I haven't dated a white girl since high school, right? So I mean,
it don't, like, to me, like, what are you trying to prove here? Because some of the biggest coons are not married to white women. What does that have to do with anything? Like, this is babble.
I'm trying to figure out, why do you believe this? Okay. But this woman, again, who's half black and half Asian, right, clearly had a problem.
And here's another question, right? So again, basically what he's doing is he's making the argument that Just Pearly Things, as we all know, likes black dick. So because she likes black dick, everything that she does subsequent to that is acceptable. Yo, this dude sitting up here talking about woke, but how come he not talking about the fact that Just Pearly Things me too the black dude? Right. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Normal black guys, aka black guys that I'm afraid of. Facts. But that's what I'm curious about, though. Is that a sensible question? And shout out to Jared and Val for answering the Nightbot. More than likely he doesn't know. Yeah, I agree, Corey. Big facts. Yo, shout out to DeAndre. I'm gonna need bro to take one more step to the right off the cliff. Fact. That's just like how he should be the center of attention in the middle of nowhere.
Problem with interracial dating, right? She had a problem with black men who date outside of their race, who date white women. She had a negative connotation of black men who do that. The same way that Nick Fuentes has a negative connotation of white women who date outside of their race. Again, people are getting butthurt and upset about something that Nick Fuentes says that is a commonly held opinion.
Nick Fuentes says it because, again, these people feel that black people are inferior and they feel that black people aren't humans. Again, they equate it to bestiality. The reason why a lot of black people have an issue is because of the behavioral changes and the prioritization of that particular interracial union over their collective issues as black people, not because they feel that there's any kind of inherent superiority, or possibly it could be because of their religion beliefs as well. Now, if you guys would agree with what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Again, this dude is sitting up here lying the same way that he lied on O'Shea, the same way that he lied on the Manosphere. And again, like I said, I'm not the person to be up here caping for O'Shea and the Manosphere, but this is what conservatives do. You're not coming across the aisle having these conversations with these people that you disagree with. You're talking at your white audience, making a show out of it. And to me, that's just moving like a clown. So shout out to being the biggest clown at the lamest circus.
And believe in the black community, in the Asian community, in the Hispanic community. There are plenty of people all over the world who believe that, hey, we should only date within our race. And they will get pissed, okay, if their family members or people that they know date outside their race. it happens. Again, I disagree with those people, right? Me personally.
Again, and then in a lot of customs and cultures, sometimes people do the pre-arranged, the parents arrange the marriage, right? Now, in most cases, in those cultures where the parents arrange the marriage, the parents probably gonna pick somebody from the same culture because of proximity, religious beliefs, understanding how their society works. It's not because of inherent hate of another individual, like how white people do. There's a difference. And again, this is what's important to pay attention to, because these techniques that the conservatives, especially black conservatives, like to use is to make a dishonest argument and not take the full context of the argument into consideration. Like, I forget who it was in the comment section. I think it was my man Deformed Pretty Boy was talking about how Italy backed Hitler in World War II. That's one of the reasons why they're against it, because they have that Aryan superiority complex. They clearly had it. They were with the Axis powers. Mussolini was a fascist dictator. So it makes sense that that's part of his culture. Like, it's crazy how this dude right here can come and produce a video for social media, and you're just making up blatant lies. You know what I mean? Like, it's foul, man.
Okay, I don't discriminate when it comes to that. Okay, but there are people who hold those opinions. It's not just Nick Fuentes, but when Nick Fuentes says it because he's white, oh, it's a problem. Oh, we're supposed to boohoo whine and cry about it. The same people.
So that's that's it. It's because he's white. And who's boohooing, whining and crying about it? What I think is interesting is he's boohoo, whining and crying that people are making Just Pearly things face turn red. I mean, it seems like everybody's we're in a puddle of boohoo. Shout out to the people that appreciate the little things like the thumbnails. You know what I'm saying? My man KO Kid Fizz said the way you got him looking on the thumbnail is hilarious. This dude is a lame, straight up, man.
Who say, well, I only want to date black. I only want to date within my community. See, again, this is what hypocrisy comes in at. This is why a lot of these people, bro, they're not serious people. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. They want to boohoo, whine, and complain about Nick Fuentes, basically expressing the fact that he doesn't like interracial dating, but they'll turn around and tell you, well, I don't interracial date. I only date black folks. I want to keep it within the community because I'm pro-black, right? But again, when the white man says, hey, I kind of look down on white women that, date black guys, apparently that's wrong because it's illegal to be pro-white.
Right. So notice how the people that you're criticizing, the people that you say, I date only black people because I'm pro-black, notice how they're not looking down on anybody. They gave a specific reason, because they're doing that to improve their community, not because they think that somebody's an animal or they're inherently inferior. Again, like, pay attention to how we leave out certain context to push a certain narrative to his comment section trolls. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please make sure that you guys hit that bell icon. Oil King, what's good, bro?
Right? You can't be pro-white. It's bad to be pro-white. Good to be pro-black, bad to be pro-white. Again, absolutely amazing stuff. And the ironic part about this guy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, who's complaining so much about racism. Oh my God, he's racist. Again, openly stated on his channel that he doesn't work with white folks. He refuses to work with white.
Is that what was going on O'Shea's channel? Now, see, pay attention, because that whole thing, that little miniature seizure that he has, that's something that he learned from his white counterparts. Like, if you watch some white conservative channels, they always have a seizure when they're talking about racism. So this is something that he appropriated from white people right here, because he's not very creative.
Because I'm pro-black, right? But again, when the white man says, hey, I kind of look down on white women that, date black guys, apparently.
So now, again, ask the white dude why he looks down on him, versus ask a pro-black or somebody like that why they feel it's important to date within the community, and compare the differences. But notice how he doesn't do that. Corey said this is him throwing O'Shea under the bus. I say O'Shea, yeah, and O'Shea do be using Pepe, which, again, that goes back to the whole. That goes back to a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lady 747 says, I hate his silly giggle when nothing is funny. Yeah, I know. This guy has the worst jokes of anybody. Like, please don't use comedy as part of your content, because you're not funny. And then all you do when you laugh at your own not funny jokes is make people annoyed. You've upset a lady 747 with this giggle. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is crazy.
That's wrong because it's illegal to be pro-white, right? You can't be pro-white. It's bad to be pro-white. Good to be pro-black, bad to be pro-white.
Here's the thing. Does pro-whiteness look like pro-blackness? Let's compare pro-whiteness versus pro-blackness. Hitler was pro-white. Mussolini was pro-white. Nick Fuentes' buddies in Charlottesville were pro-white. The KKK is pro-white. The FBI came out with a report that says that the police department has been infiltrated by pro-whites. The Aryan Brotherhood is pro-white. Now, what I need everybody to do is anybody or any group of people that's considered quote unquote pro-black, I want you to compare the actions of pro-white groups with the actions of quote unquote pro-black groups and show me, has there been the same level of criminality, the same level of domestic terrorism? So now maybe that's why people have an issue with the quote unquote pro-whiteness, which I don't even know if you would call that pro-whiteness. It's more like domestic terrorism. Exactly. They don't last 3 minutes in any debate, and that's why they go to colleges and debate freshmen who are in the slow class. You know what I'm saying? They go find the special needs kids in college and get them up on stage and have Ben Shapiro run circles around them like somebody just dropped a penny, because we all know that people like Ben Shapiro will run circles around somebody when a penny is dropped. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Tarek. What's good with it, bro?
Again, absolutely amazing stuff. And the ironic part about this, this guy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, who's complaining so much about racism, oh my gosh, he's racist. Again, openly stated on his channel that he doesn't work with white folks. He refuses to work with white people, right?
Now, so notice what O'Shea Duke Jackson said is that O'Shea Duke Jackson prioritizes working with black people because he's pro-black. That's what he said. Now, that's a blatant lie. O'Shea Duke Jackson won't work with white people. O'Shea Duke Jackson hasn't worked with some white people, like 21 Studios, but O'Shea Duke Jackson has a Russian video editor named Dima. And I'm pretty sure that last time I checked, everybody can confirm this with me in the comment section, Russians are white. Right? Like that didn't change in the last couple of years, like how people of color changed, right? Russians are still white, right? So O'Shea Duke Jackson works with a Russian video editor. So now he's sitting up here telling his audience that O'Shea Duke Jackson is a pro-black extremist and that he's blocking out white people with any kind of economic opportunity, because we all know that the only economic opportunity for white people is O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel. But even in that nonsensical conflated lie, O'Shea Duke Jackson still has a white employee. So now remember, he just said that he refuses to work with white people. How do you refuse to work with white people when he literally calls a white man his name in every video multiple times? This dude always calling Dima. Go look up Dima's YouTube channel. This right here shows you that these people don't do no research. Dima got his own YouTube channel and it's got his face on the profile. And then O'Shea Duke Jackson in the community posted a picture of Dima one time. He's a white dude. Like they don't do any research. Like these people, like look at him right here. It literally looks like he's in front of the microphone on the toilet and trying to push out like a giant redwood-sized turd. And that's because he knows that he's full of shit. Go ahead and push it out. Oh! It's one of those ones that come from deep down in your stomach. Like, come on, bruh. Count to 10 and push. You can do it. You can do it. Take a couple breaths. Okay. Push. Motherfucker, push.
But again, he's not a racist, okay? But the person that is racist that you should be mad at is Just Pearly Things, okay? Who does work with black people, black men mainly, okay? She's helped them out, grow their own platforms. She pays them fairly. Again, she does everything that I guess you're supposed to do, or you ask white people to do, right? But she still get backlash. Also, top of that, this guy
is the lady still here?
I don't know, having my
is the lady 747 still here? He just did it again. Where's the lady 747 at? He said. The
person that is racist that you should be mad at is Just Pearly Things, okay? Who does work with black people, black men mainly, okay?
So now, again, like, how many racist companies have employed black people and abused the black people that they employed, just like how Just Pearly Things did, according to Sarah Garvey? There she go. There go a lady 747.
Okay, she's helped them out, grow their own platforms. She pays them fairly. Again, she does everything that I guess you're supposed to do, or you ask white people to do, right? But she still get backlash. Also, on top of that, this guy accuses me of, I don't know, having my opinions for money, right? When this guy quite literally has made like 10 videos in the last 48 hours on this same topic, okay? And it just so happens that the video...
Yeah, that's how YouTube works. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. It's kind of like how you made 2 videos about the same topic, and on both of your videos, you probably got the same amount of views that O'Shea got on all of those videos that he made. Because if you're doing this to supplement your income, or if this is your income, you're going to do what the algorithm tells you to make videos about. And if you're really interested or somewhat involved in the situation and you have more perspective and more content to put into video form about it, then it makes sense. Cassius Williams said, is this Butthead's black brother? Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's his cousin named Shithead. Y'all remember the Buttmans from In Living Color? If y'all remember the Buttmans from In Living Color, give me a thumbs up. That's who he is, the Buttmans. That's hilarious.
He makes bashing Just Pearly Things gets the most views. So, hey, I got questions. Why are you going so far as to bash this white woman? Is it for money? Right?
Why are you going so far as to bash this white woman? I don't know. Why do white women go so far as to get entire black neighborhoods massacred? Shout out to Tori and Rain. Make sure that you guys check out Tori and Rain's The Black Massacre series. I don't know. I don't know. Why is Carolyn Bryant still free? You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to, I want to make sure I'm saying this right, Pillow Glade for the $3 super sticker. Show some love, drop some radiation emojis in the comment section for showing some love. How come he never made any videos talking about why do those Asian people attack black women at those nail shops? Or why do the police tend to attack black women more than other women of any other race? How come he doesn't make a video about that, since we're so concerned about the women? I mean, just pay very close attention to this dude. Why are you attacking this white woman? Okay, now are you going to make a video about how she's attacking Sarah Garvey? Because she clearly said that she's, you know what I'm saying, she's going to attack everybody. She's going to attack everybody for critique, and the critiques are actually making her money. Make it make sense. I want y'all to pay very close attention to that. What do y'all think about that? About that comment right there?
Literally has made like 10 videos in the last 48 hours on this same topic, okay? And it just so happens that the video that he makes bashing Just Pearly Things gets the most views. So, hey, I got questions. Why are you going so far as to bash this white woman? Is it for money? Right? Is that what you're doing it for? That's what it kind of looks like to me. It seems like a lot of your views over the past few days has come from, attacking this woman. Right?
I mean, that's the reason why all conservative content bashes black people for money, right? That's why you see the word woke literally on your shirt and in a title of every other one of your videos, right? Because you want your video to perform well. Let me ask you guys a question. Why do people try to performance shame YouTubers? I'm going to tell you guys something, and anybody that watches my channel knows this. If it's something that's popping in the algorithm, I'm going to drop a video about it if I got time. My channel's not huge. And even when my channel gets huge, I'm going to still do that. You know what I mean? If I'm really interested in a topic, I'm going to make multiple videos about it. And I'm going to be smiling all the way to the bank on the 21st. I don't care. It's YouTube paying the money. Why do people do that? What is that supposed to do? What are you trying to do? Make money? Yeah. But see, the thing is that if you're getting your money from YouTube, you're getting it from YouTube. You're not getting it from a white supremacist think tank like Turning Point USA or PragerU, which is probably some of the people that work with Greg. KO Kid Fit said he want to knock that hat off his head and see what his lineup looking like. I don't know what that lineup looking like. I bet you it's way back. It's way back like a Maybach.
Right? I'm just saying. And you keep doing it because guess what? You're making money, right? You're getting viewership from it. Ain't that how it's supposed to work? Again, the reason why I don't think that Just Pearly Things owes any apology for that segment specifically is because it's clear to me that she was just listening. She was taking in the conversation, and the argument was between those two.
Yeah, she wasn't just listening. She's the one that initiated the Black History comments, and she has a she has a history of doing that. This dude is such an idiot. He showed a older clip of her doing it in the beginning of his own video, and we're going to ignore that behavior pattern. Like, pay attention to that.
And there was really no need for her to chime in or to say anything because the man has a right to express his opinion. They were talking about a specific topic, a specific thing. Her Italian friend was holding her own. She didn't need any help. She defended herself, and that's it. It is what it is, right? I really do think that probably these guys on the internet are probably more upset than the Black people that actually work for her, right? I'm pretty sure that's the case because if they were so upset, these woke revolutionaries, they would all quit by now, right?
Now, see, shout out to Cassius Williams. Cassius Williams says lapdogs like the buttermilk biscuit bootlick will be in a frenzy and cringe to defend white supremacist Becky racism. Yeah. And now that right there goes hand in hand with those comments that he made. And now when he's talking about why particular people have an issue with interracial dating, notice how he didn't mention any of what Cassius is saying. These are the reasons why a lot of people have an issue with it. This right here, because this is pattern behavior that you don't see all the time, but you see it a lot of the times. You see this a lot of times. Not because people feel that somebody's inherently inferior. So, again, that's a disingenuous argument that Greg made. Just like all of his arguments are disingenuous. But it is what it is. This is just what we do. Val said Jason Black really started something by critiquing Just Pearly. Ooh, he done got some shit started, didn't he? He done started some shit, boy.
I don't think they're that upset about it, okay? Let's move on to the next clip that is probably more controversial than the last clip, in which Just Pearly Things essentially says that slavery or some parts of slavery was embellished. Take a look.
Argument was the Holocaust was not special, and all countries have done that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so you're saying, why is the Holocaust special?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, what do you mean, basically?
Well, yeah, I mean, because of course, we're getting into the details of it, but yeah, that's the gist.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of deny it happened.
Yeah, I deny some of the parts of
You
it.
deny parts of it don't seem realistic to you. You think they were embellished upon.
I think they're embellished. Yeah.
The same way. This sounds. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're gonna
You're
be in
get
trouble.
yourself
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's.
All right, so there you go. That's who brought it up. That's how it happened. Again, she led him into the conversation about slavery. So again, this is Just Pearly Things. She did it. She's done this before. Shout out to Jesse. What's good with it, bro? So now, again, what we're going to do is we're going to act like this didn't happen. We're going to act like somehow there was another order of events that took place. Like, seriously? Exactly, Sergio. She said we embellish history, not Nick. She did. She said that. And then again, she's the one that tries to portray herself as something that she's not. Nick doesn't try to portray himself as something that he's not. I mean, he says what he says, right? So you shouldn't have any expectation for Nick other than expect that he's an ardent white supremacist. But now Pearly Things is the one that tries to put off a different perception of that she's something that she's not. She's the one that's trying to be a chameleon. Nick Fuentes ain't trying to be no chameleon. You know what I'm saying? She is. See, like, honestly, for real, like, Just Pearly Things is, she's actually, like, for real, like, a liberal. The way she moves is exactly like some Rainbow Coalition Democrat COINTELPRO type shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Vega. What's going on with it, Vega?
That's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's
so is that. So now you see Nick Fuentes agreeing, but Nick Fuentes ain't saying anything because Nick Fuentes is a seasoned racist. You know what I'm saying? Just Pearly Things. I mean, she might have a big Karen mouth, but she still doesn't understand that she's not outside the realms of getting checked. Nick Fuentes knows. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been checked all the time. He's constantly in a state of getting checked. But she doesn't realize yet. You know what I'm saying? What does a movie have to deal with slavery? Well, what a movie has to deal with slavery is that when it comes to people like them, their history is embellished in movies. You know, like Jason and the Argonauts and Clash of the Titans and shit like that. I mean, 300. Like, they actually think that 300 is real. Like, look at these sweaty masculine guys wrestling with a chamois cloth wrapped around us, using it as underwear. Like, okay, yeah, that's your history. Shout out to the Monkeypox clan. You know what I'm saying? So they take a lot of the things that went on in the movies as their history. So then they try to project that onto us. That's like that's the reason why the nerds of fandom get so upset. Oh my God, they're blackwashing things. Like, blackwashing what? This is a science fiction book. You mad because it's a black person under the damn Wookiee costume, you idiot? That really hurt your feelings? This is the ultimate form of fragility. You know what I mean? Yeah, we was Vikings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is for real. I mean, Alex Haley didn't try to push the idea, right? Now, what I find fascinating, though, is these very same people who will tell you that the woman king is a fact and the woman king debunks reparations are sitting here saying that, you know, Roots is based on a myth. Roots isn't based on a myth. Roots is a cinematic interpretation of actual events. There's been many movies like that. So all of a sudden, Roots is indicative of Black history. We're not going to talk about Amistad. We're not going to talk about Rosewood. We're not going to talk about To Kill a Mockingbird. You know, shout out to the people that are affected today, people that are alive today, since that's what they like to repeat all the time. You know what I mean? Oh, so there's that, you know.
What they do is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Yeah, so what we have here is
Let me ask you guys a question. Who's controlling who? Who do we control? Who are we controlling with slavery? That's a thing. Just I want you guys to let that statement marinate. Who are we controlling with slavery? Yeah, exactly. A lady said the same thing. And not only who are we controlling, but we're controlling somebody with slavery. Last time I checked, the slave masters controlled the slaves with slavery. Last time I checked. That's a lot of the issues that we have a lot of internal turmoil within amongst each other is because of the lack of control that we have over society and resources and assets. That's a point of contention that causes a lot of issues. So who do we control? What, our own history? Shouldn't every group of people be allowed to control their own history and their own image? When she says so they can control people, that basically means putting her silly ass in check about her anti-Black racism. Yeah, bitch, go read Dirty Little Secrets. Oh my God, he just called me a bitch and told me to go read Dr. Claude Anderson. He shouldn't be allowed to do that. Yeah, that's what that means. That's what that means. Yes, I did. I just called you a bitch, and I referred you to a book to go read. See, you want to go sit up there and talk about, you should just be able to sit there and talk about, Thomas Sowell, and he's the only person that knows any, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about, lady? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys show some love, drop some radiation emoji to the new subscriber, Stephen Butler. Appreciate you subscribing. Everybody should subscribe. Hit that bell icon, smash the like button, and share the video out.
Why live conversations are difficult, right? And why I think that, pre-recorded content to a certain extent, especially when we're talking about very controversial topics, is probably superior, right, than doing live conversations, okay? Because she clearly got caught up in thinking about what Nick Fuentes said about the Holocaust, okay, which I disagree with what Nick Fuentes says about Holocaust, but she got caught up in thinking about the conversation because she's probably heard stuff from him that she never thought about before.
You know what's funny? That's not what she said. None of what he's saying is what she said. She didn't say any of this.
I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible. It was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Yeah. So what we have here is why live conversations are difficult, right? And why I think that, pre-recorded content to a certain extent, especially when we're talking about very controversial topics, is probably superior, right, than doing live conversations, okay? Because she clearly got caught up in thinking about what Nick Fuentes said about Holocaust, okay, which I disagree with what Nick Fuentes says about Holocaust, but she got caught up in thinking about the conversation because she's probably...
He disagrees with what Nick Fuentes said about the Holocaust, but he has no pushback for what she said about his ancestors. See, here's the thing, and shout out to E-Rock, all right? E-Rock says Pearly things are so dumb. People don't need movies to feel outraged about people being property. Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing. If you ask me, Pearly things only is as big and as strong as people like Greg Foreman make her. People like Greg Foreman are the people that need to be held accountable for Just Pearly things. People like Obsidian. They're the reason she's what she is, not on her own. On her own, she's just a white girl reacting to rap music. But when her and the Coons form to become Voltron, they're a 1 million subscriber machine. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's making up things to defend her. I wish Jason could grill the hell out of the likes of him too. Yeah, no doubt. You know what? I wish they had I want to see Professor Black Truth have somebody at the interrogation table and shine a light on him. Professor Black Truth would be like, Mr. Foreman, we all here in the YouTube streets hear that you've been bootlicking again. Sit this one out, family. I'll take care of it. Could you imagine that? That'd be hilarious. Shout out to Professor Black Truth.
Probably heard stuff from him that she never thought about before. And when you start to think about certain things like that you never heard before, because apparently you're not allowed to have an opinion, you're not allowed to hear these opinions, sometimes it will make you compare it to other things and how people talk about other things, right? That's a part of a natural conversation in which she brings up slavery, which in my opinion, I'm gonna say this. I think when it comes to events like the Holocaust and slavery, people definitely use those events to guilt trip people today into doing things or feeling bad about things or feeling bad for certain people who didn't necessarily even go through those things as a way of trying to control.
Good. And then after he get done, after Professor Black Truth get done interviewing him, he'll walk out the interview room and slam the door and be like, good day and be one.
People and accumulate power. That 100% happens, okay? But what Just Pearly things was saying is that, well, there is some parts of slavery, that may be embellished. And she talked about Roots, which was by Alex Haley, okay?
So again, you believe it's just interesting. Like, pay very close attention to the mind state. He's more offended that Nick Fuentes doubts certain elements of the Holocaust, but now he's backing up Pearly. He's backing up Pearly Quinn on her stance that slavery was embellished. Like, look at this. Who raises people like this? Who raises people like this? Yeah, exactly, Cassius. Facts. He's relitigating the case for Pearly. Now, do you think that he's going to charge more than the lead attorney charged? Because the lead attorney gave her 4 hours. He said, "Hi, Pearly. It's the lead attorney." Like Jason Black's thumbnail said, "Here to be the devil's advocate." And then he said, "I don't think she's racist, guys. I don't think she's racist, guys. And then he had that little Freudian slip where he said him and KS were out on a date or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all hear about that? The little Freudian slip? I can't remember exactly how it went. That's why I went. I kind of want to react to that video. I think he said something like, hey guys, my girlfriend would get so upset. She would get so upset, guys. Because he hits that stupid ass button every 5 seconds. She would get angry when I would go out on a date with KS. Oh, I tripped over my words. You didn't trip over your words, motherfucker. It's not the only thing your ass tripped over. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Kid Gravity says, "Do you think that Pearl is COINTELPRO?" I don't know if she's necessarily COINTELPRO, but I do believe that she's an op. Oh, the Bunker TV got it. Shout out to the Bunker TV. We're gonna have to check that out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to we're gonna have to check that out. Oh, not on a loop. Not on a loop. That shit needs to be on a loop. That shit needs to be on a loop. The TLA been lame. People was falling for him a long time ago, man. Like I said, I remember when Moxie had called in and he was rude as hell to Moxie and kicked him off and was screaming at that lady. Like TLA is dude is he's a chameleon too. You know what I'm saying?
At the time when it came out, it was pitched as a historical biography of a Black American family. Okay, but come to find out, it was a myth, right? The book wasn't actually really based on a true story, but basically is a narrative of the experiences that I guess the Black family would have had during that time period. Okay, but the story in itself wasn't.
I believe that. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, salute to Moxie. Shout out to my man Moxie Approved.
Necessarily based on a true story. It's not necessarily a true story, right? And she basically said, well, yeah, I mean, it seems like they do embellish some parts of things. And she also threw in there as well, too, that, clearly it was horrible. The things that happened to people was horrible. It was terrible. But they do embellish some things for power and control.
What power and control? Okay, so first of all, nobody's embellishing anything about slavery, first of all. Second of all, what power and control has anybody gotten from the narrative of slavery as it is right now? Can anybody name anything that we've gotten from the current understanding and perception of slavery here in the United States? Like, to me, like, this is just insane that we even have to have this kind of conversation. It's crazy that we even got to have this kind of conversation. Like, this is wild. You know what I'm saying?
And she's right. They do. Because if you listen to what she was actually talking about, which was roots,
right.
That story by definition was embellished. Okay, it was made up, right? It was made up.
Yeah, he sure did.
And he probably made it up again for what? Power and control.
He sure did. And what are we controlling? Again, like I said, that's some of the major critiques is that we don't have enough control over certain things. So what are we controlling? We didn't. Are you serious? Who gave Alex Haley the ability to distribute his movie and produce it and put it into theaters? We don't own the theaters. We don't own Hollywood. Even Roots was controlled. So, man, what is she talking about? And this is stuff that this dude clearly knows. See, and that right there, shout out to a lady, 747. She says, white guilt keeps them from putting us back in slavery. It needs to be us that keeps them from putting us back in slavery. I could care less if they hate us. We need to be able to smack people around and make people uncomfortable so that the thought doesn't even cross their heads. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be just sitting around surrounded by a bunch of people that at any moment could snap and we don't have no way to protect ourselves or deal with it. You know what I mean? Because they do that from time to time. You see it with the police. You know what I'm saying? You see it with all of the riots. You've seen it with Charlottesville. They just snap. We need to be able to do that. We need to be the deterrent. We know last time we tried to put them in slavery, a lot of us ended up dead. There was a big cleanup job. Not, oh, you know, we're sitting around waiting. Oh, my Lord. Hey, Mr. White Man might stop being scared, man. You need to be scared. You need to be scared to the point where you don't think about trying to do that. I'm not trying to sit here and be subject to anybody else's rage. It's irritating. You know what I mean? A lady 747 says, grape of men and women and children, selling of children, what is embellished? What is worse? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What's embellished? Torian Rain says, Rob, have you seen the videos on Twitter posted by Stu Peters? He keeps posting old videos of black people getting into it with white people, and he propagandizes it as us being evil and making it open. Yeah, that's what they do all the time. And they say that there's a war on white people, which I find fascinating because the only person waging a war against white people is Vladimir Putin. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they say. And they do that kind of thing to stir up racial animosity and to mobilize the quote unquote irregular forces of white supremacy, like those weirdos that marry their sisters and live in the Appalachian Mountains and have every single gun known to man, and their infants know how to shoot them and reload magazines. Those are the people that I'm talking about. But the thing is that, like I said, man, me and Izzy talked about this before. Like, people don't catch the little dog whistles, man. Like, all the vacations that they go on is tactical training. You know what I'm saying? They learn how to be a paratrooper when they do skydiving. They learn how to survive in the woods. You know what I'm saying? When they go camping, you know what I mean? All the vacations and everything they do is built to be able to mobilize a military at any moment, even in leisure. And like, people don't catch that. Knowing how to swim. You know what I mean? There's nothing innocent about their vacations. It's all military training. Built-in military training. Subconscious military training. I'm going to teach my kid how to start a fire and be in the Boy Scouts. Know how to use this knife. You know what I'm saying? Starting at a very young age. So that by the time this individual is in high school, they've already been through WS boot camp. They know how to flip open a pocket knife. They know how to skin an animal. They know how to fish. They know how to skydive. They know how to put together a car transmission. While a lot of times we're sitting in church. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything built into what they do is built in military training. That's the kind of time we got to get on. We got to start getting think tanks together and stuff like that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right, for fame or whatever, right? But there are some parts of slavery, let's be real, that are embellished. And I'm not talking about what black people actually went through, okay? Because you got to be clear with these people, okay? Because they're going to accuse you of saying things that you're not really saying. What black people actually went through, okay, as slaves was horrible. It was terrible. One of the worst things that can happen to somebody, right? Okay, but as Nick Fuentes says, it's not necessarily unique, right, in regards to what happened to black people, because this stuff has been happening.
It doesn't matter if it's unique or not. It happened. Guess what? Murder's not unique. So guess what, Greg Foreman? If it's ever in the news that somebody shot your mom right through her face and she got a bullet in her brain, I mean, motherfuckers get shot every day, B. Right? So niggas get shot every day, B, is our logic for when unfortunate shit happens to people. So if we ever hear anything about Nick's mom or anything about Greg Foreman's mom getting stuck in a trash compactor and she gets crushed to death or something like that, I mean, people die every day, B. I want to make sure that I can go to the funeral so I can get a special place. So when we can give words about the dead, I can go up on the podium and just look around at the people there and say, niggas get shot every day, B, and then just walk off. So that means that, grape is a crime that happens a lot too. It happens so much that they have sentencing guidelines for it. So, if some woman that he cares so much about has something happen to her, that shit happens every day, B. I want you guys to pay attention. This is a black man talking like this. This is pathetic.
To all different types of people across the globe since the beginning of time, right? Humans have been effed up with each other, which essentially was the point that I think he was making, okay? But again, if you listen to the woke revolutionaries who embellish, right, parts of slavery, like, for example, again, they want to pretend like
the woke revolutionaries who embellish parts of slavery, as we wait here for him to say the parts of slavery that are embellished, then he switches to another topic. These are your black conservatives. When you hear people say that they lean to the right, you're looking at them right here. That's your friends right there. The people that brag about how they lean to the right, they're bragging about being like Greg Foreman.
American chattel slavery was unique in that nothing like this has ever happened before. When slavery not only was happening in America, it was happening in Africa, it was happening in the Middle East, it was happening in Eastern Europe, all at the same time. It wasn't unique. Slavery was a common thing during that time, but that's not what they want you to think. That's not the story that they tell. That is an example of.
Where's your proof? And if it's not unique, then why did you specify chattel slavery here in the United States and then talk about slavery in general everywhere else? What if it's not unique? Why did you make sure that you needed to differentiate and say chattel? And now also, again, the same thing that I always ask when we had these conversations is, why are we acting like these conversations are only about slavery? Let's talk about what everybody in the room's mother and father went through. But of course, talk about it amongst ourselves, not talk about it with these kind of people, because these kind of people aren't shit. So you wouldn't explain. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Would you say, for instance, you were walking down the street and you saw a piece of shit laying on the sidewalk? Would you explain yourself to it? If you, I know everybody's walked down the street and seen dog shit on the concrete. Have you ever stopped and said, hey, dog shit, let me explain myself to you. My name is Black Light Revelations, and these are the things that I believe, and blah, 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 blah. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Scorpio and this, that, and the other. And all right, I'll have a good day. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that we have this understanding. I'll see you later. Has anybody ever done that? So, like, explaining yourself to these people is the equivalent to explaining yourself to a piece of shit on the sidewalk. It's not something that anybody should do. You know what I'm saying?
How they embellish the story of slavery. Another example how they embellish the story of slavery is when they try to pretend like the white man just showed up to Africa, right? And they just rounded up and snatched up all the slaves, and then they just went to the Americans, and that was it, without mentioning the fact that Africans enslaved other Africans and then traded them to the white man, and that's how the white man gathered so many slaves in the first place, right?
Who doesn't explain that part? Who doesn't explain that part? And what do Africans have to do with Americans? What do they have to do with us over here? Clearly, if we're over here and not over there, we're not them. So, and we're also in America. So why are we talking about Africans? I agree. If you guys agree with a lady, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Conservative talking points that are only safe for black conservatives to say. Facts. His argument is therefore slavery was okay. Yeah. So that, and he's cool with saying black people enslaved other black people. So Greg Foreman, you have an open invitation to come and be my slave. I got a lot of work to do. I can get shit done. And you got video editing skills, so you can take care of some of my YouTube shit. All right, Jared, take it easy, bro. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. What's good with it, bro? There's clear accountability issues here. Yeah. Yeah, big facts. But I mean, nobody should be surprised by this, though. You know,
white man, the all-powerful God, white man, right? Did not have the capabilities of being able to round up that many slaves forcefully, because quite simply they couldn't go that deep into Africa, right? They needed help, right, from the Africans that was there. But
so now my thing is literally who's not aware of this? Who doesn't teach this? Who selectively leaves this out of it? Like nobody leaves this out. We talk about this all the time. But he feels comfortable telling his white buddies that, oh, they don't talk about, we talk about this all the time. This clown will make a good friend informant. Yeah, he's definitely an informant.
See, they don't tell that part of the story. Why don't they tell that part of the story? It's because it doesn't fit the narrative of, well, the evil white man.
Yeah, we actually do tell that part of the story. And the only narrative is anti-black slavery in the United States that we're fighting for reparations for. We need to go after those entities in Africa who contributed as well. But guess what? Most of those places and most of those tribes and most of those regions from back then are no longer in existence. Guess what is still in existence? The United States. Who doesn't tell any of those parts of the story? That's what I don't understand. Just like the dude named Anthony Johnson, the black guy who owned slaves, who's the reason why chattel slavery came with a lifetime tenure. People talk about him all the time. Dr. Claude Anderson wrote about him in Dirty Little Secrets. Who doesn't talk about these things? Someone who's not aware of their own history doesn't talk about those things. Like I said, I'm not the pro-black guru here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just a motherfucker that grew up where my parents taught me the importance of understanding the world around me. You know what I mean? And I know that. You got people that actually study this. You got actually people that are activists, pro-black activists and stuff. Pan-African history teachers and stuff like that know this kind of stuff. As a self-respecting person, you should know a little bit about your history. The reason why you say they don't talk about it is because the people that you talk to don't talk about it. Africa talks about it. That's one of the reasons why Ghana allows repatriation. They claim that it's a contribution to a form of reparations. You know what I mean? So that's an African country acknowledging that. So again, like my question is, what is he talking about? Who doesn't talk about this stuff? When is the last person that he's had a conversation? When is the last time he had a conversation with anybody about this? You know what I mean? So nobody's talking about it because you don't ever bring it up. Why would anybody not talk about it? You know what I'm saying? So let's pay attention to that, man. This is the nonsense. And honestly, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but the reason why I do this kind of content is because as much time as people waste dragging other people on YouTube, these are the people that need to be dragged. Like somebody like Greg Foreman needs to be just roasted out of relevance. You know what I mean? I'm kind of done with this video because he's gone away from O'Shea, and you know what I'm saying, he's gone off target, and you know what I mean, like he's not even on the same topics anymore. What I'm going to show you guys now is a video that Officer Tatum did. This is Tori and Rain's favorite YouTuber, so shout out to Tori and Rain. You know what I'm saying? Tori and Rain's favorite YouTuber to roast. So now you guys remember that video that I did about Melanie King, right? If you guys remember the Melanie King video, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, give me a thumbs down. That was that video where she shapeshifted and ended up looking like Brittany Renner. I want you guys to hear what Officer Tatum says about that video. All right. He already eyeball bucking. Toria said, no. Man, listen to this idiot. Listen to this idiot. Actually, both idiots, man, because Melanie King ain't no better. And which is why he agrees. And you see the title of the video, Black Woman Goes Off on Black Culture for Destroying Black Women. Let me ask you guys a question. Why is it that these black conservatives never make videos about other cultures or other people? Sex trafficking and underage sexual activity, huge problem in Asian community. I've never seen him make a video like that. How come he doesn't say that? Why doesn't he talk about how the Asian culture and the way that Asian people do their women empowers the passport brothers to exploit Asian countries with sex tourism? Why didn't he say anything about that? Now that would be an interesting title for a topic or for some discussion, right? Because the thing is that it's not new, the whole thing with Asian women, right? Like that's not new at all. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch that movie Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee from way back in the day, they had it popping. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing that he focuses on is black people. This dude is a clown. All these black conservatives, they're all the same. And remember, the manosphere always say that they lean to the right. So it makes a lot of sense why they're the Just Pearly Things defense force. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. It seems like in every situation, the dumbest people get the biggest microphones. So I should say the dumbest ones with the biggest microphones who are out here looking like embarrassments. Yeah, I mean, they actually do. They have a prostitution pipeline. Big facts. And nobody talks about it.
Video brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com, ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for Easter. I don't even like to call it Easter. I call it Passover. Easter is pagan anyway, but that's no here, no there. In preparation of Passover.
Man, this dude is dumb. Who cares about any of that?
The Lord is back by popular demand. Get you a shirt.
Oh, them eyeballs was bucking. Hold on real quick. There you go. Torian, get a screenshot, bro. Get a screenshot, family. Yo, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys show some love. Drop some radiation emoji for a lady 747 who just became a member. We got 41 members, y'all. Shout out to the membership squad. Shout out to the green team. You know what I'm saying? Look at the dude head. Look at the dude eyeball bucket, man.
If you get it in pre-order, which
damn, this is not what I'm trying to see. Hold on real quick. Hold up. All right, here we go. Listen to this.
Y'all mad at me. Brandon, you always talking about the black man. We always talking about. He said, y'all mad at me. Brandon, you always talking about the black man. We always talking about women and black women. And now this is another young lady.
So now look at this, right? So because like this is literally his introduction. This is a young lady, like no credentials, no anything. You know what I'm saying? She's a sociologist. She's an accomplished professor here, blah, 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 blah. Nah, this is just some young lady that's got an opinion that's similar to mine. So she knows everything and anything that she says is right. Like, come on, bro.
That have what I call common sense and that's willing to tell the truth to the man in the mirror. I love the fact that she called out the ailments in the black community. Nobody wants to talk about it. And
I don't know. They must not have never watched YouTube or anything. Literally, these kind of conversations go on YouTube all day long to the point to where they turn toxic. Nobody have you not looked up any YouTube videos? Literally, people talk about this kind of stuff all day long. Just saying. Nobody wants to talk about. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you guys agree that no one wants to talk about this stuff? I disagree. I think it seems like everybody wants to talk about this stuff because literally on YouTube, there's 10 channels live having the same conversation simultaneously every single day. Torian says he knows nothing about this woman except she said something he agreed with when it comes to our community. Facts. But I bet he knows nothing about her background at all. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy. This is crazy.
And she talk about it from a woman's perspective. And after you watch this, tell me if you hear something wrong. Tell me if you hear something that ain't true. All right, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Roll the clip.
Across the board, black women are the lowest in terms of dating and marrying. In fact, actually, black women.
So like what I want you guys to understand is that if you pay attention to the propaganda, the only time you say anything about black people that's accepted is if you say something negative about black people. If you ever say anything positive, you're woke, it's propaganda, you're a black supremacist, it's racism. But now if you say anything negative about black people, if you say something negative about black men, if you say something negative about black women, you telling the truth. You telling the truth. Melanie looks so defeated in the video. She looked like Brittany Renner in the video. She shapeshifted. Y'all remember when I had reacted to this video the first time? And I was like, where the hell Brittany Renner come from? And y'all had to let me know that that was still Melanie. I was like, where the hell Brittany Renner come from? You know what I'm saying?
Are high in dating because we give up sex the most. We're for the streets. We're twerking. We're doing the most. We dominate rap in the culture that is very sexual, especially in the US. So a lot of men see us as
Man, literally every black woman, the majority of black women are not just doing that right now. Like I guarantee you, like the majority of black women right now, if we did a random survey of black women across the world at this very moment, I guarantee you the majority are not twerking. Facts. If you guys agree with a lady, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Torian say, I bet you he never mentions her not having custody of her children and being divorced from her pastor ex-husband. Oh, she was married to a preacher man, huh? She's married to a preacher man. Nah, he probably don't do any of that. He probably doesn't go into any of that. The only thing that he's concerned about is the negative comments that she makes about black people, and that's good enough for him. That wets his whistle and his bussy. You know what I'm saying?
It's easy targets to, to have sex with. And we have the highest rate of having children outside of marriage, wedlock. And so men see us as bed wenches, easy to have sex with, but they don't see us as valuable wives. Our culture, especially in the US, I don't know how it is in the UK. I know it's a little different.
So now if we're doing this, right, like I'm expecting on this side, there's going to be an Asian woman that talks about the problems with Asian people and the problems Asian men have, and then a white woman and all of this, right? Nope. It's just a whole gang of black women just, you know what I'm saying, saying probably pre-written talking points. Yeah, I got to agree with Carla. She's not making direct eye contact, so she's lying. Big fact. She's being big disingenuous here. And honestly, if she's doing any of this kind of stuff, she's talking about herself. Now, if she leaves from this podcast and decides to go somewhere and go bust it down and start twerking, that's something that she decided to do. But that doesn't mean that everybody decided to do that. That don't mean that everybody's doing that right now. I wouldn't even be mad at you. Melanie, you a freak. You know what I'm saying? You anxious right now? You want to get up and go twerk? I'm not mad at you. Go ahead. Go do it. Do the thing. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to sit there and say that everybody's doing that. Don't get on a platform, on a podcast, and go tell a whole bunch of other people like, yeah, everybody's doing this. No, that's some shit that you're doing. Not everybody. You're doing it. And ain't nobody mad at you that you're doing it. Go do it. Enjoy yourself. Shit. Record it. Put it on OnlyFans. Make you some extra money. But don't sit there and say that everybody's doing it, because everybody's not doing it. Especially the people that want to find content like this and use it. Now you see how much do you want to bet that Just Pearly things communicated with Officer Tatum and said, hey, I found a clip that's consistent with the kind of content that you do. Would you like to clip it? I'll have my editors clip it and copyright protect it for you so that you can use it. See, because she works for that white supremacist think tank. You know what I'm saying? They coordinate like that. See, like that's they coordinate like that. And that's one of the things, like, we got to coordinate and network like that. You know what I'm saying? And Officer Tatum said, oh, you saying some fuck shit about black people? Hell yeah, send that shit over. Put it on my Dropbox. Cameron Jones said she was twerking on Kevin Samuels. And I'm not even about, let me shut up. I'm not about to say nothing. I did hear that though. I heard a lot of rumors. Now, here's my question. Did Kevin Samuels appreciate it? That's the real mystery. That's the real mystery. And the world will never know. You know what I'm saying?
But our family structure is so broken and so destroyed that we really, the majority of Black women in the U.S., we've been put into a position of just being, sexual, just for a man's sexual pleasure. But if they're going to take a woman serious, that's why you see a lot of Black men when they become successful, they're not marrying us. I mean, they do. Okay, let me say this: 80% of Black men are marrying Black women, even when they're successful. But there is a huge thing where a lot of Black men are going.
So then, what is she talking about? Like, do you see how she just said one thing and then she had to correct herself? Like, oh, okay, I'm lying. Okay, I'm lying. Okay, like, really? She's just up here to be a talking head, just to talk shit. You know what I'm saying, just to talk shit. I'm just sit up here and talk some shit. Probably getting paid like about $1,500. I'm gonna just sit up here and talk shit.
Going to other races, why? And a lot of women don't understand.
Now listen, she gonna go up here and sit up here and talk shit, right? Now she's sitting up here talking shit about twerking. Probably got paid $1,500 to sit up here and talk shit. Girl, you could have went somewhere and twerked and probably got paid more than that. Plus, you would have got some tips. Somebody would have threw some dollars up in the air. You know what I'm saying? That would have been less problematic than you sitting up here spreading that propaganda. You could have went to a club and spreaded them cheeks and probably would have got paid more and would have left other people out of your nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any damn sense. Shit is like, I've never seen in life where a group of people gets attacked repeatedly all the time, constantly, not only by everybody else, but people amongst our own ranks. Like, man, what is this shit? What the hell is this? What is this? How did Brandon Tatum's parents raise him? Do you think that his parents are proud of him? Let me ask you guys that question. If you guys think that Brandon Tatum's parents are proud of him, if his grandparents appreciate him, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down.
If the man is racist, no. The culture that woman may have been brought up in, her submissiveness, in our culture, we're being rebellious, dressing provocative. It's standard. It is standard. We hate ourselves a lot. We hate our own hair. We want our butts to be the fattest. We pride ourselves on things of being bosses, having the fattest booty, being able to twerk the best, but not intrinsic values that is a wife. I will.
Now, this young lady.
I bet you he did. I bet you he did. Shout out to Kid Gravity. I bet you he did. I guarantee you, I put money on it that they didn't raise him like that.
I forget her name and I follow her on social media. I think she's amazing because she's one of these women that I feel like can give an honest, balanced perspective about culture, about women, all of the above. I may not agree with every single thing she say, but this right here, this is the truth. Why do you make this video, Brandon Tatum? It's because I really want these things to change. I really want people to think outside the box.
I don't think Brandon Tatum wants anything to change because Brandon Tatum is a conservative hustler the same way pro-black hustlers do. It's the same thing. It's two sides of the same coin. It's the same exact thing as Democrats and Republicans. And when I say pro-black hustlers, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the clowns that grift. They're the same thing. Brandon Tatum don't want the black condition to change because if the black condition changes, he'll be out of a job. Could you imagine listening to him talk about the economy? Could you imagine listening to Brandon Tatum talk about C-19? Could you imagine Brandon Tatum trying to do comedy content? Boring. The only person that's going to listen to you, and I'd highly doubt she listens to you, is your wife. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the other extreme. All the people, man, and when I say pro-black hustlers, man, the pro-black hustlers have really surfaced to the top like pus inside of a pimple with all of this Just Pearly things shit coming out now. There's some people that's been saying the same type of content the whole entire time. But now that this Just Pearly thing shit happened, I'm going to change my content to different kind of content. I want to talk about this. Because what we really need to do, like, these motherfuckers trip me out with how phony they are, man. They know different. As soon as some nuclear bomb drops that sends a rift and changes everybody's reality, and people are out here looking stupid. Oh, now I gotta change my content and tell everybody else what they gotta do. Even though people was capitalizing off of that very debauchery that caused this kind of situation. Nah, man. Don't switch lanes. Don't try to start talking about important shit. Don't try to start talking about shit like what we talk about. We talk about science and, you know what I'm saying, different things like that. Jay, real shit. We talk about science. We talk about the economy. We talk about trending topics. There'll be less trending topics being talked about once the channel gets bigger, but like, we talk about all that stuff. Not just sitting up here talking about gender war content. But now all the gender war people, man, pay attention to how now they got the instructions on how every black person should be a black person. Do you guys notice that? If you guys notice that, give me a thumbs up. All of these people who were the gender grifter hustlers, now they have the instruction manual on how to be the right kind of black person, and they criticize, oh, yo, this person that. Man, you wasn't even thinking about that kind of content before. We need to make all kind of other content. We need to talk about the economy. No, we don't need to talk about the economy, because those of us outside of that little grift bubble, we've been talking about other shit, because there's a whole nother world out here. And now these people, because their content is faltering because people are out here looking stupid, now they want to try to move into another lane. In the same way that they gave people bad information about gender relations, they're going to give people bad information about everything else. Shout out to my man, We Lit. Shout out to Sari Lynn. What's good with it? They're gonna give people bad information about everything else. They're gonna tell you about a particular cryptocurrency that get you broke. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you to make some kind of investments that crash, because these people are idiots, and the only thing that they're doing is just writing the algorithm. I write the algorithm. Shit, I ain't about to sit here and lie to you, but I have other content that I do and talk about. You look on some of these channels that are now doing, I'm gonna talk about issues in the community. I'm gonna talk about issues in the community because the shit like Just Pearly things just can't keep happening. All their videos is gender war content. The whole library of all of their videos. Those are the same type of people that come to a channel like mine, talk shit about me because my channel is small, and then be like, look at your videos. Your videos only got 300 views. Your sorry ass can't even get no 1,000 views on a video. The fact that I can't get 1,000 views on a video should tell you about you. Because if you look at most of the videos that I have, most of my videos are about politics, economics, international news. So the fact that I can't get 1,000 views, that should tell you what your dumbass is deficient in. Because why isn't that kind of content more popular? So just pay attention to that, man. You know what I'm saying? If you start to notice people that did different content, what they're doing is they're switching up their content because they're embarrassed about their position on that whole Just Pearly thing. You know what I'm saying? They rolled snake eyes on that shit. Now they look stupid, so they want to hurry up and pivot. That shit is sad, man. Stand stand behind that shit if that's how you felt. You know what I'm saying? Don't change your content strategy because you're not eating anymore. You know what I mean?
And not just think, oh, they don't like us because they don't. No, look in the mirror. Growing up as a young black man, how did I see black women? The fattest booty is the girl that we going for. Twerking, sexualized. What do you see in the music videos? Black women.
Okay, so like you don't think that white people, when they grow up, they say, oh, who is the chick that I'm going to go for? Oh, the chick with the biggest titties. You don't think that they say that? Like that's only it's only specific for us to see a particular feature on a woman and say, oh, I'm going for her. Like these are the kind of arguments that these people make. Shit crazy, man.
Sexualized. What do you see anywhere? Black women sexualized. I remember we used to, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. We used to have this thing in our mind.
So I find this fascinating, right? One thing that I haven't heard about is a black woman fucking everybody at the police department. That's some shit that I haven't heard about. And I honestly don't hear very often about black female teachers fucking their students. I don't hear about that shit too much. And it's not because I don't look for it. Because I have a whole entire channel called Crimecast where I talk about crimes. So if we're going to talk about sex and sexual exploitation and sexual escapades, why are we not talking about the fact about the patterns and the causes of why monkeypox spread throughout Europe like wildfire? Why are we not talking about any of that? Just saying.
That white women were not sexualized, right? I mean, to us, we would be like, oh, white women are terrible. They ain't got no swag. They ain't got no rhythm. They ain't good in bed. I mean, all of these preconceived ideas that I feel like we grew up believing about white women.
I've literally never heard that. As a matter of fact, as far as sexualized go, I heard other things. Just saying. I never heard any of what he just said. As a matter of fact, don't some of the rappers refer to getting head as quote unquote Becky? Like didn't Lil Wayne say in the song, I'm like driving in my car down here getting Becky? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not picking her up, talking about her head was in his lap. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Anybody that was on a sports team in high school, man, everybody knew what time it was with the cheerleaders. Like, seriously? Anybody that went to college, everybody knew what time it was when you went to a party with your white friends. Like, come on, man, like cut the games. What are you talking about, dude? Nobody that I know of who's black ever had a household conversation about quote unquote white women. Most of us probably didn't interact with or deal with white women until we went either to school or to work or something like that. My parents were never, the only thing my parents ever told me was you got to be careful because, you know what I'm saying, like these people can get you killed. Aside from that, nobody said anything about any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you look at it, when you type in the word porno, it's not black women that show up. Black women don't make up the majority of the women on OnlyFans. So like where's he getting all this stuff from? You know what I mean? Because there's some rappers. Make it make sense.
Because of what we were exposed to about black women. All the time. Like, go to any music video. Go to any club.
Oh, yeah, the cuckold
Look
thing.
at the way black women dress. And this is not all black women. The respectable ones are up here somewhere. I'm talking about like the general population. And she made a pretty good point. She said,
wait. This dude just said, not all black women. I'm talking about the general population. Isn't the general population everybody? Somebody stop me if I'm wrong. He said, not all black women. And then he said the general population. Isn't the general population everybody? Am I crazy? Or did I hear that right? Like what?
Any club. Look at the way black women dress. And this is not all black women. The respectable ones are up here somewhere. I'm talking about like the general population. And she made a pretty good point. She said,
Yeah, no, he got to have like one of those you got to do that formula. It's this calculus integrals where it's like t plus 1 equals the infinite limit of x. Like that's got to be the entry number. Like, man, his entry number got to be a formula because like we can't use a number, or it's got to be scientific notation. It got to be like 10 times 5 to the 10th power and shit. It's got to be in scientific notation. It's so many damn entries. This motherfucker got more entries in the bed bucking examination log than there are parallel universes and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Not all black men, because 80% or so of black men do marry black women, and a lot of that is proximity. But a lot of successful black men that you see, they marry outside of their race. She had a really good point. She made mention, I don't know if it was played in this clip, but she had made mention is because of the qualities, how people were raised, how they were brought up. Because I'm telling you this from perfect experience.
No, people marry outside their race for a multitude of reasons. There's some people that marry outside their race because they just found a person outside their race that they can vibe with. Then there's other people who have self-hate issues that are ridiculous, like you. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other people that may have preferences, like they might like what they like. I don't think that Serena Williams married her husband because of how he was raised, because she had to teach him how to bathe properly. She married him because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess they was getting along. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, what are you talking about? Like, what he's saying here is that inherently anybody that a black person dates that's outside the black race, the black person dated that person because that person was raised better. So he's saying that we can't raise our kids. Torian said Faker married outside his species. Facts. He did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this dude is essentially saying. Like, man, that is crazy. Look, Torian said, I guess by that logic, his parents wasn't shit. And here's the thing, right? It's just the fact that he fell out with his parents. I bet you he had good FBA parents, just based on how he is and everything that he rejects in life. I bet you he had the kind of parents that probably most people would be like, oh, those were some good parents. And that's why they fell out with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is so butthurt. This is what an adult butthurt beta male looks like. Remember, Torian, didn't I tell you when we did that last video about him, all this dude does is blame the woman, blame the woman, blame the woman. I wonder how it goes at his house. I wonder how it goes at his house.
Perfect experience. But I'm telling you from my personal experience, and I made a video about this like 5 years ago, and I look like I should be going to a penitentiary with that facial hair cut off. But I made this whole point about when I was growing up.
So you look like you should be going. Look, Torian, there go another. Look. Did you hear him racial profile himself? This dude just racially profiled himself. Yeah, I had a beard. I look like I should have went to prison. Motherfucker, you think that you should go to prison because of your facial hair, you weirdo? So that tells me that when this dude was a police officer, if you had a certain kind of look with facial hair, he's profiling you. You know what I'm saying? You said run it back. Yeah, I got you. Listen to this. Oh shit! Hold on, real quick. All right, there we go. Look at them eyeballs bucking. Get your screenshots out.
Because I'm telling you this from perfect experience. I mean, not from perfect experience, but I'm telling you from my personal experience. And I made a video about this like 5 years ago, and I look like I should be going to a penitentiary with that facial hair cut off. But I made this whole point about when I was growing up, when I had dated, I only dated in my race. I would never date a black woman. I mean, a white woman. I never even thought about it, bro. Growing up, you bring a white girl home, you might as well kiss your black card goodbye. But
this dude said you bring a white girl home, you might as well kiss your black card goodbye. That's some shit that I've never heard either. There's some people that are vehemently against interracial dating, but it's not a majority. My parents literally never told me who to bring home ever. They never warned me against bringing anybody home either. They just said, be careful who you deal with, especially be careful with these particular people because they get people killed. And that's it. So again, Officer Tatum is lying. And again, like it's really disingenuous when these people lie. Like, this is dangerous right here when you lie about your family and about the way that you're raised because your parents didn't tell you that. You're lying, dude. Nobody told you that shit. You're saying that to make your audience feel good, and you're lying on your own family. know what I'm saying? This dude a straight up liar.
I thought that the experiences that I were having were normal, meaning that every girlfriend that I had that was black, none of them knew their dad or had a good relationship with their dad. Their dad wasn't involved.
Every single one, literally every single person, every single black girl that you dated didn't know their dad. Do we have evidence of that? Like this is a straight up lie, for real. Like, like this shit is hilarious, and he could only get away with saying this kind of stuff to a white audience because black people gonna call you out on this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, black people gonna call you out on this kind of stuff. Like, bruh, you're lying. Literally, the kind of conversations that you're talking about went on in your house. Motherfuckers don't even have them kind of conversations. What you talking about?
Every girl I dated in a black community. And it wasn't weird to me because I thought that was normal. And then when I got to college, I'm like, with the first girl that I dated that was white, she had an intact family, all of these things. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Your mom and daddy together? Because my mom and daddy went together. All the women I dated, mom and daddy went together.
There you go. He said his mom and dad wasn't together. So there you go. So now we know the psychology of Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum had a shitty ass life because he had parental pookies. And so because he's so butthurt, because he's not able to pivot his life in the proper direction, because he's not strong enough of an individual to overcome the things that he went through, he projects the failures in his life onto everybody else. So now we know. Yeah, that manosphere cape flapping like a motherfucker, ain't it? Tatum needs to get some therapy. Yeah, he needs to have a doctor dose him for some cyanide. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only thing that'll cure his condition.
Mom and daddy together? Because my mom and daddy went together. All the women I dated, mom and daddy went together. Your mom and daddy together. Then I started to think and feel like I want that.
So now here's my question: had you dated black women that had their families intact, and then when you got to college and you dated the white woman, would you have looked at that white woman different? Because according to him, the reason why he has so much disgust and anger is because the families of the people that he were dating weren't together. And now my thing is, to me, it is important about the family structure of your relationship partner, but did you vet your relationship partners that you were with? Did you ever meet their families or anything like that? Or did you, what did you do with them? Why did you keep, if you noticed that as an issue, why did you keep dating people like that? Yeah, I agree, Torian. He don't. I bet you the first. I bet you the first white woman that he dated, that mommy and daddy told their daughter, "Don't come back. Either don't come back here with him, or don't come back here at all." So this dude is big mad. This dude is big mad. And so now here's my question, right? I'm curious as to how many white women Officer Tatum ever dated. And the reason why I say that is because, so you're upset the black women that you dated, the relationships didn't work. But now I'm sure you dated more than one white woman. You didn't just date the perfect white woman the first time and get married to her. That's not what happened. You dated just like how you dated when you were dating black women. So now you're not upset with white people at all of the failures Yo, what's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me? So I don't know what's going on, but we got like a really bad rainstorm, really bad windstorm, and some lightning just cracked like out of the clear blue sky, and it knocked out all the power at my crib. I had to get on my phone and get on StreamYards so that I could get back in here. All right. So I apologize. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I didn't have y'all waiting too long. I'm about to end this, and hopefully my power will come back on in a little bit. So are y'all still here? This is the first time that I ever used StreamYards from my phone. Can y'all hear me okay? If y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If y'all can't hear me, a thumbs down. If y'all can hear that beeping in the background, that's my generator. You know what I'm saying? Like everything in my studio is just basically running off the generator, but because the power lines are down, I don't have any internet. You know what I'm saying? So how's the sound quality? I might mess around and start using my phone for StreamYards or Streamlabs a little bit more. If y'all can hear me okay, if the sound ain't too distorted. I barely had power on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I barely had any internet on the phone. I just barely was able to get on. So it might be sounding kind of bad or whatever. But the audio is good. Okay, cool. Let me see. Yeah, my whole studio is dead. It's a wrap. And the thing that's kind of garbage about this is that when it comes to this, using the phone, you can't really screen share or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Kareem said, I was expecting Pearl's voice to say, yeah, I got you, boy. Yeah, nah. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Hold on real quick. Let me plug this phone in real quick. Oh man. So yeah, man, we was gonna finish that video about Tatum. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's not even worth it. But the thing is that when it comes to people like Tatum, y'all know what it is, man. You know exactly what he's gonna say, and you know why he's gonna say it. You know what I mean? That's what you said. Yeah, see, because Carla knows. You know what I'm saying? We'll get these windstorms or we'll get these tornadoes, and like just next thing you know, like my power will be out. You know what I'm saying? That's what was happening. I was about to hit the video and turn it back on, and then I was like, "What the hell? The video won't play. What's going on?" And then I heard the beep, and I heard my generator turn on, and I was like, "Oh no!" That always happens, like right in the middle of a damn live stream. Like, why they doing me like that? You know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all for sticking around in the stream to make sure that your boy was okay, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all. So hopefully this is gonna mess up everything, man. I had a video that I was in the middle of editing. The computer's damn down. Now I'm gonna have to re-edit the whole video. It's like, for real. Ain't got no charge. Y'all can y'all hear that beeping in the background? If y'all can hear that beeping in the background, give me a thumbs up. If y'all can't hear the beeping in the background, give me a thumbs down. That beeping in the background is my generator. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rain King. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, that's my generator. That's not the fire alarm. You know how people be fronting? Anytime you go on live, they try to front on you like, yeah, you know, what's wrong with you? You can't afford no batteries. That's the sign of somebody that don't know how to do shit in life if they got their thing beeping back there. No, that's my generator beeping. That indicates that it's not plugged into a power source. It ain't no damn fire alarm. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe some shit came back on. Nah, nope. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Oh, I don't even know if this is gonna work. I don't even know if I should toggle back and forth on the screens on this on the phone. This shit might be fragile. You know what I'm saying? So I'ma end this live stream, y'all. You know what I mean? You say you can slightly hear it. Kevin Samuel said that single woman alert. Man, I'll be hearing people. I listen. I've heard people that are couples that had that fire alarm on back there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just don't be changing it. That's just some shit that people just don't be changing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to come back on later as long as the power is back on. Sometimes when we be having these power outages, man, we be out of power for like days at a time. Like we literally just had a power outage a couple of days ago, and I was out of power for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So now, like, oh Lord, y'all know I'm OCD, man. I'm gonna have to reset everything back up. Oh my God, I'm so irritated, man. I'm so irritated, man. All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to get up off of here because I don't have any way to charge my phone, and I'm gonna need a little bit of energy in my phone in case I got an emergency. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all watching. Please make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, leave lots of comments. Take a moment. If you haven't subscribed to my backup channels, make sure that you guys hit the backup channels, watch the videos, check out the old content, leave comments, and I will. Yeah, that's well, Solo. I didn't know that you was from the land, bro. I'm not from the land, but I'm from the 330. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the 330, and it is crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So that's what we got going on out here. You know what I'm saying? That's what knocked the power out, bro. That's what killed my power. You know what I'm saying? So but now that I know how to do it like this, though, we might not. Yo, shout out to Chris Perkins. I appreciate it, bro. I might, if I'm not able to do a live stream like this, man, I could just turn the phone on, you know what I'm saying, and plug it into one of my generators, and I could throw the link in the chat and we could just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? We could do some shit like that later on if I don't have no internet. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, see that there it is right there. My computer just died. It just went out. So I just heard it. So all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all again. Take a moment, subscribe to the backup channels, check out the older content. All right. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share the videos out. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that bell, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right. Peace.